Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Sousou no Frieren season 2 episode number 9 reaction. Alright, the previous episode, we had the battle between Revolte and Genau and Stark. Also, Frieren wasn't really doing anything, but Fern and that other, demon, while Methode versus the other demon. I don't know their names. But like these individual battles we got a teamwork, and technically the Fern and Methode battle was also kind of teamwork because each of them took out the demon that the other was assigned to, which was the key into winning their battle. And Stark and Genau also worked together and defeated Revolte. Yeah, it was a great episode. As always, fantastic animation and really good choreography and direction and everything. Yeah, and that was a good episode. Either way, now at the end, everything is kind of fine now. Each has decided, obviously started going on their own way, and we resume our journey. So let's see what we get to see today. Let's get started. I'll be putting the timer over here. Sync the original video that you'll be watching alongside my reaction to the timer, and yeah, let's get started. Okay, here's the countdown. Three, two, one, go. Oh, wait, what's his name? Forgetting. Hmm. Yeah, he. Okay. Okay. Right. I'm forgetting his name. What was his name? I don't remember. Oh. But yes. Hmm. Damn. Oh, one moved in nearby? Oh, God. So there's like a whole bunch of them, right? Damn. Hmm. All right, let's go dragon hunting. Hmm. Yeah. Well, we want grimoires. You have them? Perfect. Perfect. He's like, wait, do I have that? No, I probably don't have that. All right, we'll take it. Yeah. Okay. Damn. Wow, that's acting as a compass. Well, that's why she collects all these grimoires, you know? Like who knows what will come in handy. Bruh. Wow. Hmm. Damn. How much time is Oh wow. It's going crazy here. Damn. So I guess the magic traces is all over the place. That's why it was going crazy. Okay. Yeah, this is going to be. Hmm. Hmm. Well, typical. Oh, there we go. Bah. Okay, yeah, these are not that big. Like the one that Stark fought was like. Oh my god. Wait. I don't think we'll need a magic. Okay, maybe we will need a little bit of backup. Oh my god. Ah! Nice. Ooh. Yeah, okay. They were not really that difficult individually, but as a group. Oh, nice. Mhm. Get your head. Well, yeah, right. Oh, there you go, the grimoire. Tongue twister grimoire. Yeah, this is because, yeah, like, no, no. That's because if you do that, people will start expecting things and then not going to just do things themselves. Like, we've seen this in multiple, and I'll talk about this later. And also from the people who are being held, they, it's like their pride as well that they're giving something in return. And like it goes both ways. I'll talk about this later. Yeah, so he's taking something that they don't need, but it is some form of repayment to them. All right, here we go. Let's see if his answer is similar to mine. There you go. Yeah. And there's also another side. I'll talk about this later. Which, hmm, yeah. Right. Yeah, so Himmel talked about the positive part. I'll talk about the negative part as well at the end because there's a negative part to this as well. If you don't take any compensation, yeah, I'll talk about it later. What? It's probably one. Himmel's memoirs. Wait, what the hell is. I said, hmm, on his pinky finger? What? 30 years after the. Oh, we're back to the present again. I don't think so. Like, come on. Ah, we got a fish. Yeah. What is that? Ah, Yeah. Oh, it's food. uh, Damn, a few months. Hmm. Well, yeah, but you know. Yeah, you all you're doing is handstands every single moment. What is that? Fish pie? Right. Oh, nice. Okay, nice. Hmm. Do they have money? I was gonna say they're just. Yeah, I was gonna say if you have any task for us, barrier. Oh, well. Hmm. I guess he doesn't realize that Frieren was one of his party members. I'm just, this is his grandfather's time. Wait, so then who put a barrier on the island? If he lost it, then okay, wait. Yeah, yeah. Hmm. Golden Land. Whoa. Hmm. Hmm. Interesting. What was that? Just the barrier. Oh, I see. That's why the barrier. Hmm. There you go. That's a long time ago. Oh yeah. Okay. Is that it? Oh, we found it quite easy. I thought we had to like find it like something. Just there. Hmm. Damn. Oh, everyday life. Yeah. Yeah, okay, so there you go. Now he realizes. Well, you literally said. Didn't she mention it that so Himmel. Hmm, right. She Loki mentioned it as well in front of him, literally, before, she said something like, oh, like, back then, so Himmel lost it. But. Oh! Hey! Nah, man. Well, it's the ocean, so. Oh. Damn. Weakness? No, you didn't. Oh. Oh my god. Mm. Mm. Alright, and there you go. That was today's episode. So, today we had again two sections. First section was that horde of dragons, which we had to take out and save that little village. And then we had the second part where we went and recovered some of Himmel's memoirs. And yeah, so those were the two sections. Right. So let's talk about the first part. So the first part was where Frieren and his and their group came across a village which was in a pretty bad shape because a horde of dragons, a flight of dragons, came and wreaked havoc here. And now, obviously, this place is their home, so they cannot just leave it like that. And even if they leave it, where are they going to go? So they're like, we need someone to help. And obviously, Friend is like, oh, you need to pay us. Like what will they pay us? Grimoire, obviously, that's the only thing. And they got a grimoire which was something related to like speaking quickly with like tongue twisters or something. Either way, whatever it was one of those like very simple and very silly type of grimoires that Frieren likes collecting. And yeah, then and everything happened, the battle happened and everything. What I wanted to mainly discuss about this part is the section where Stark was like, if if the people are really that in need, why do you even ask for compensation? Like, shouldn't it, like, since you were in Himmel's party, shouldn't, and Himmel wanted to help people, you guys wanted to help people, shouldn't you be doing this for free without any compensation? Like, yeah, obviously, like, they're not paying like them like a lot of things or anything, just like a simple grimoire, but still, why even that little thing? Why not just do it just for free? At which Frieren said, now here's like another thing, like there's like two parts to this, and Frieren brought out one part of the reason why you shouldn't just do things for free. And this is obviously something that Himmel told her, so she's just repeating the words. But what Himmel said is, like, Himmel was also asked the same question. What Himmel said is that I'm doing this because I'm asking for like a very like small little compensation like this, because it would be like something that the people who are being helped, they are also content about, like, because if you just help them and be like, all right, we don't need anything, and just leave, they'll be indebted to you. And yeah, even if you're saying that, oh, we don't need any compensation, that is still a debt. Like, whichever way you say it, it is still a debt. At least in the people's hearts, they will still be like, oh, we're indebted to this person. And Himmel said that is no way of saving someone. If you save someone, they shouldn't be indebted to you. That is why, for their sake as well, so that they can get the like the content, like of their like they can be what's that word? They can be like a lot more free, without any kind of restraints. They take, Himmel takes something from them, be it whatever. Usually it's grimoires, because people don't really have any use of them. And that person was literally saying that, oh, we have a grimoire, but we don't really have any use of it. So he's like, yeah, let's take, we'll take that. And yeah, that is the reason why Himmel takes something in this form. Here we go. We're a party of heroes. What we want is to help people, not words of gratitude. Yeah. And what's that part where he says, if you make people indebted to us, we haven't really helped them. There you go. Now, this is the part that Himmel brought up, which I also kind of said that, yeah, this is one of the reasons. Now, I'm going to bring up another reason, which obviously they didn't really mention it, but I feel like this is also something that is very important. Like, now, the thing is, Frieren is like kind of like a positive, like, the whole vibe of Frieren is like very positive. Like, like where, like we have these people helping each other and doing it. So I guess they didn't really bring that up. But there's another part to this which I feel like, which is like a negative part to this. If you just help people without any compensation, people will start to expect things from you, which will obviously stagnate them. So, for example, if you just come and help someone and be like, all right, it's fine, like we're a group of heroes, we're helping people out and everything, obviously they will be very happy. They'll be, indebted to you. They'll be like, oh my god, thank you so much and everything. And then you go and do this to another group of people and another group, keep doing this. People, like, obviously your name will spread, and people will be expecting things from you from here onwards. They will be like, oh, yeah, we are in trouble. The party of heroes will be coming and they'll help us out, no problem. This will stagnate them. What people used to do, at least before, where they would at least try to get out of their problems on their own, they would be relying on this group of heroes completely. A certain level of entitlement will also start seeping in into them, where they will be like, oh, why were the heroes not here? It's their fault. They always help us out. Like, this will also start seeping in. People will become, what can I say? Like, it's just going to go in a very wrong direction, in my opinion. If you just do things for people, and don't take any kind of compensation, they'll start expecting things from. At first, they will be indebted to you and very much happy about it and everything. But then, like, for the second time, third time, this continues and they get help. They'll be like, all right, then this is like something very normal. This is their duty. It'll become the hero's duty to save everyone, which is not how it should be. And this is make them stagnate. They will not do anything. They'll not rake their brains to, like, come out of a problem. They'll not try to do something themselves. They'll be like, it's fine, they'll come, they'll save us. And then if that doesn't happen, the entitlement will come in. They'll be like, oh, why did you not come? Why did we not get any help in time? It'll become like something ugly like this, which is something that we do not want, you know. And this is the part that I was talking about. Like, this is one thing that I feel like a lot of people, a lot of animes have kind of showed, where how people's ugliness, how they become like this, and they start like blaming the people that are helping them from their good of heart, and start, like, a lot of animes have shown this. Like, one that is particularly coming into my mind because it ended very recently is My Hero Academia, where they just were like, oh, it's their duty, why are they not doing this, that kind of thing. So this is the part that I wanted to talk about. That is why, if you take something from them, you know be it whatever, like, at least, like, that, like, dependency is not, it might come, that dependency, and it might come, but still you're at least taking something from them. It's like a kind of an equivalent exchange, instead of just helping them out without expecting anything in return. Because if you do that, people will be thinking that, oh yeah, you know what, this is your duty. you know Saving us is your duty. So, it should always be like an equivalent exchange in a way, kind of, which will keep both the groups, in their own, like, like, kind of thing. Like, the people who are being helped, they will not become entitled, or they'll not become this type of nasty people. And like, at the same time, yeah, so it's something like that. At least this is what I think, and this is how I look at it. So it has two parts to it. One that Himmel brought up, which I always already, like, talked about, where the people will not be indebted. That's why it'll be like saving them in true form. But this part, I wanted to kind of highlight this, because I feel like this is also something that is possible, that might happen. Because, these human beings, they are, like, they very easily, they forget, and they start going in a wrong path. So yeah, that's why. Right, anyways, I just wanted to talk about that. Either way, that was the first part. The first part was where they went and took care of the dragons. And like, as always, Stark was the bait. He almost, not almost, but he got his head chewed on. He got almost eaten. Very much injured as well. But by the end of it, everything was fine. Frieren and Fern rescued him and took him and they got healed. In the end, Frieren got her grimoire. Everyone is happy. The dragons are gone. Like win-win. Yeah. So that is what happened in the first part. Like the dragons here were not obviously not as strong as the dragon that Stark fought, but they were still dragons. At the end of the day, and we could see like Stark could take out like multiple of them in quite a short amount of time. But when so many dragons just gang up on you, it'll still be a little bit of troublesome. So that's why Frieren and Frieren also kind of chipped in. And at first their plan were to like kind of AoE the whole place, I guess, like just blast the place by making Stark kind of make the dragons gather at one place, but then Stark took out quite a bit of them on his own, and like Frieren and Fen were also able to take out a lot of them. At the end, yeah, job was done. People are happy now, and everything is okay. For now, at least. Right. Okay, that was the first section. The next section was the part with the Himmel's Memoirs thing section. So basically, Frieren's group gets stuck in this place where it's like a snowstorm happening, and they had to wait there for a moment, otherwise they cannot go across the ocean. And here they get a task or a mission where that Fisher, the boatman, like he said that his village were indebted to Himmel, and that's why he wanted to recover Himmel's memoirs from there. And there was a barrier there, so if you guys do that, I'll take you guys on the boat and help you cross the shore. Now, I thought he would have realized that Frieren was one of the party members immediately when Frieren said that, oh, so Himmel said something. Where's that part? She literally says over there that, come to think of it, he said he'd lost the memoirs he had been working on during our travels. I'm pretty sure that guy was literally beside Frieren then. Did he not realize? Like, I thought at that moment was the moment where he realized that Frieren was in Himmel's room. I'm guessing he probably didn't clock it properly. Like I'm sure he heard what she said, but he didn't really think about it that much. Because like obviously he's a human being, and as human beings, even if we have the knowledge that there are creatures and people who live way longer than us, like elves, dwarves, still you will try to see everything initially through like your human sense of time. So the fact that he can meet someone who was a party member of Himmel, who was like back when his grandfather was alive, probably didn't even come to his head, and he didn't realize that. So later on, when Frieren was like reading it, he probably clocked it then, and he was like, oh yeah, this is probably one of Himmel's teammates, because she's an elf. She doesn't seem that old at all, and they have long lifespans, so it is very much possible for her to be Himmel's teammate. So he probably clocked it later, because otherwise, if Frieren literally said that in front of him, I think so he should have clocked it there. But either way, yeah, he probably like didn't think of it that much at that moment. But later on, when he saw Frieren looking and reading the grimoire like that, he probably clocked. He was like, oh yeah, this makes sense. Here's the thing, there's one particular part in this section which is kind of interesting, which I think holds a significant importance that we'll get to know later. This part, when then Stark says that there's a lot of ships, there's a fleet of ships here, it's like we're out at the sea, like what's going on. He says that yes, many people and shipments of goods traverse the lake this time of the year, okay, and lately there have been rumors that a golden land where anything and everything is made of gold was found in the north. Now, I think this part is important because Frieren has this kind of a um, I've seen this before as well. In certain parts of the story, they low key kind of hint something about the future plot in a very like, like nonchalant way, and then later on we get it. Yeah, I feel like this is something that will be important because immediately after this, there's a section. I need to rewatch that section. Like, what was that? Okay, many people are crossing the lake than usual. Okay, Golden Land, is that true? Who knows? Alright, so you can see Frieren here is looking sideways, into the water or something, I think. Okay, so who the hell is this? So you can see Frieren is in front of someone. Oh, damn, that's a tall person or a demon, I'm guessing. Yeah, that's a demon. He has like horns and everything. Is that supposed to be the demon lord or something? I don't know. It's someone, I'm guessing we'll get to know later. But for now, I guess that was like a slight little hint as to what is going to come in the future. Either way, um, that was the part that I wanted to highlight here because I feel like that section kind of stood out in this part without any kind of explanation. So, guess we'll get that later in the future episodes. Right. Either way, yeah, so they go to the monastery and take out the barrier. I had a question. I was like, why is there a barrier? Because if like Himmel lost his memoir over there, then who even put that barrier there? And then they kind of explained it themselves. Apparently, like they put the barrier there because in the monastery there's a lot of like important and very priceless um like priceless books and stuff. So that's why. And Himmel's memoirs was one of them. Right, and when you see like Frieren like was reading the memoir, everything was written there was like their everyday ordinary life in the adventure. Like small little things, like like for example, them just getting drunk in the bar, um, going on adventures. What else? Yeah, Frieren just happily jogging towards a mimic, getting eaten almost by it. Everyone like sleeping, right? Climbing mountains, all these things, ordinary, everyday, not ordinary, but like everyday things in an adventure. He wrote down, and so I think like so I'm guessing like Himmel probably like at the end of every single day he probably like wrote down all these things in his diary. Like, oh, today we went over here and this happened. You know, like Frieren suddenly went crazy and jumped towards a chest. Turns out the chest was a mimic. We had to spend the next 1 hour trying to get Frieren out of that mimic. Something like that. Every day at the end of the day, he probably like wrote down. And also, like I guess like in the end, you can see like the ending song also kind of shows that like Himmel kind of writing down like a book. So I'm guessing it's something like that. Right. And then the guy was like, "Oh, you're that person, right? You're probably one of the teammates of Himmel, so you keep it." And then later on, while coming back, Stark makes use of one of the like the quotes of Himmel, which accidentally summons a kraken. Right, and then yeah, I know it's typical shenanigans. Right. Either way, that was this episode. Another nice little episode, and yeah, let's see. So there you go. That was it. That was my reaction to episode number 9 of Sousou no Frieren season 2. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed, and comment down below. Anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know, I'll check them out. That is it, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next week with another episode. Until then, goodbye, and have a nice day.